Hello, welcome to Spell Day. We're covering the spell every single day of the year from the 5e PHB +3. Those +3 spells are homebrew spells. We're at +2 at the moment. You can head back in playlist to find them. And today's spell is Shatter. Second level evocation, cast time of 1 action, range of 60 feet, components verbal somatic material, a chip of mica, duration instantaneous. A sudden loud ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts from a point of your choice within range. Each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on that point must make a constitution saving throw. A creature takes 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. A creature made of inorganic material, such as stone, crystal, or metal, has disadvantage on this saving throw. Non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried also takes the damage if it's in the spell's area. At higher levels, when you cast a spell using spell slot of 3rd level or higher, the damage increases by 1d8 for each slot level above 2nd. Very interesting targets. Because we've had spells that have targeted a specific kind of creature before that wasn't a subtype, as in like Moonbeam, for example. That attacked shapeshifters, or those with the shapeshifter trait. When it comes to this, any creature made of inorganic material. Now yeah, it gives 3 examples of stone, crystal, or metal, but it says such as. That's a key word right there. It's just anything inorganic. And man, rock elementals, this has to suck for rock elementals. But would it also affect water? It's an inorganic material. Same thing with fire and air, because there's also some argument because it's this massive noise and burst, it might like dissipate them. But the big one's golems, that's pretty good. Or the constructs of some kind, though that's just disadvantage on the saving throw, which is nice. It's alright. Second level spell, 3d8, 30-foot radius. Nope. Second level spell, 3d8 thunder damage. This doesn't come up too often. And then 10-foot radius. That's not that bad. 60-foot range. Could be worse. One of its other unique effects outside of targeting those specific creatures is the fact it affects items or objects that aren't being worn or carried. The damage immediately carries over to them. Which might sound really cool and unique, and it is to a point, but Fireball, or anything that says sets on fire, also technically does that by damaging the objects around it. Still nice to have something like that though. Is playing into that feature, but at base, it just is also affecting objects and structures around it, or at least objects, which I've seen used for quite a few things, breaking certain structures, windows, doors a lot. Locks, that's a bit of overkill, because you're probably going to break the chest as well, but get the job done. I guess the specific clause about objects is because normally when a spell does affect objects around it, it's just tied into the effect, like Fireball, where it's like, oh yeah, it sets things on fire around it. Whereas because this is thunder damage, it's hard to say it actually has an effect on objects, so it specifically states it does. Upcasting's alright. Like if you're going against anything, not necessarily a construct, but anything that's made out of, again, inorganic objects, which depending on the campaign, might vary, but it could be really good just to have in your back pocket, a 2nd level spell you can even upcast to cast on a creature that will have disadvantage against it. It's not that bad. Thunder damage isn't too often resisted. Yeah, it's not like amazing or blown out of the water. It's just nice. 6 out of 10. It's a go-to like mini AoE at a range, because it's still in the shape of Fireball, as in pick a point in the distance, it's a radius effect, burst of damage. Done. It's not too often resisted. Creatures made of inorganic material have disadvantage against it, which is a nice bonus, but is kind of varying on what you're fighting and campaign. And then the object clause, which is alright, could be used to some utility. I don't know, like it's alright. I mean, it's 2nd level. Nothing too grand.